Hi, I'm Kelly Lamrock. Well, we're getting to the end of the campaign. You've heard all the speeches, you've listened to the parties, you've put up with the phone calls and the brochures and some ugly signs that have probably been blighting your neighborhood. Sorry, I'm not better looking. Ultimately now, the choice is going to be yours. And you're going to have to make a decision about who should represent you. And I hope you'll take a moment and just listen to some things I hope you're thinking about as you make your way to that ballot box. You know, I've done the job of MLA for 7 years, and I believe in my heart of hearts that MLAs matter. Some people will try and tell you that they don't, that it's just a matter of choosing blue or red or orange, that it's just a matter of voting the leader, and all MLAs are generic. I don't believe that's true. There's going to be 55 MLAs. Some are good at getting their projects heard, some aren't. Some work hard to know the issues, some don't. Some are able to talk about issues like education or reforming our prescription drug insurance system in a way that actually develops ideas and brings them there and doesn't just have to read their briefing notes or listen to the civil servants. And some aren't. I remember 7 years ago when I decided to run, I made a promise to my community. Give me a chance and I'll give you a voice. Back then we had a conservative backbencher from the south side, and people felt that things on the north side were getting ignored. From the Route 8 bypass to the Marysville Clinic, projects just seem to be sitting there. You know, it doesn't happen overnight and it doesn't happen automatically, but bit by bit, with the help of citizens and community groups who tell our story well, MLAs can help bring things to prominence. That's how we got things like the Route 8 bypass. It's how we got a world-class school in Marysville and Devon, a community college that the Tories used to tell me was pie in the sky. It's why there's a parish nurse now at St. Anthony's in Devon showing new ways we can care for seniors. It's why we have a flood compensation program that actually protects people in Barker's Point and Majorville. It's why we've renovated community halls that matter in places like Devon. It's why we've got more affordable housing for families that are struggling so every kid has the security of a place to call home. I can tell you, having done it for 7 years, these things don't grow from the ground. They happen because we get our voice heard. You're going to have a look at a ballot in a few days, and there's going to be names. You'll have to decide not just who should be premier or which party should govern, but who can best give voice to your community, whoever's there. And I guess all I can do is stand on my record for the last 7 years. You know, people have said I'm nobody's patsy. In opposition, I got projects done because I made sure I stood up, and I made sure we got heard, and I made sure that until government did the right thing for people, we weren't going to stop talking about it. In government, I think if you look at the promises I made to this community, we've delivered, because I never forget around the caucus table or the cabinet table who sent me there and whose seat I have the privilege of representing. You also know that when I have to, I've even stood up to my party. I've been willing to give our community voice, to say where people in my community stand on the issues of the day, whether it serves my party's interest or not. I'm not just interested in putting out pretty brochures that show you my party colors. I've been talking about specific ideas that will actually make our community better, from the St. Mary's First Nation to Majorville to Devon to Marysville to Barker's Point. I'm going to keep fighting every single day for you. I'm always going to remember that it's not about my party, it's not about political interests, it's not about playing it safe. It's about the ideas, and it's about results for people. Look, I haven't been perfect. There's no training manual in this job. And I've made my share of mistakes, I know that. And I try and learn every single day by being accessible and listening to friends who tell me how I can do better. And I hope I've learned a little bit as we go. But there's one thing you'll never have to wonder. You may see me make mistakes, but you'll never wonder where I stand. You'll never wonder whether my heart's in the game. You'll never wonder whether I've studied up and I know the issues. I'm not running to hold a seat. I'm running because there are things that matter to me. I want to make sure in a country as blessed as Canada, no one has to mortgage their house to pay for prescription drugs. I want classrooms where every child has a laptop computer so they can learn with the latest tools and technology, so that a New Brunswick education is a tool that they can be proud of, not something they have to overcome. I want to make sure that we have creative ideas to build Fredericton as a smart city and protect our civil service from cuts. And I want to make sure that we continue to recruit doctors and reduce poverty and make sure that every single child, no matter where they're born, whether they're born on Dune Street or Waterloo Row, I want to make absolutely sure that every child has the same chance to succeed. Look, it's been a great 7 years. Whatever happens, it's been an honor to serve you. Whatever happens, I'm going to wake up with my wife and kids in Marysville. You'll still see me coaching basketball and bringing my kids to Royals games, and you'll still see Karen and I out in the community because this is where we are, win or lose. This isn't a job for me. It's a calling. It's a privilege. And I hope as you reflect on what's been done the last 7 years, on what we've been able to do together, you'll give me the opportunity to keep working with you. No matter what happens, I'm going to be on the north side. And no matter what happens, I'm always going to be on your side. Thanks for listening. I'm Kelly Lamrock.